We have all the usual Halloween hijinks. Has Seth Rollins turned face? And we crown new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. All this and more on Raw Reaction. Guys, how you're doing? It's the chairman of the board here, and welcome to Raw Reaction, my breakdown of this week's episode of Raw, along with my thoughts and feelings as to what's going on. As always, thanks guys so much for watching. Please make sure that you do like, share, subscribe, ring that bell as well, just that we can keep you updated with what's going on. You can also find us on Instagram. We have a Facebook page as well. And you can also listen to our podcast, Let's Talk Wrestling. So let's have a look and see what happened this week on the Halloween edition of Raw. So we started off the show with Bianca Belair and Nikki Cross. Now, last week we saw Nikki Cross coming back as Nikki Cross, no longer Nikki ASH. I'm really happy with this. I really like this. Good, great start. I was always a fan of Nikki in NXT, especially when she was in Sanity. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do with her here. The Nikki ASH character, I think it worked initially. I think it did what it needed to do. She wanted to get young girls interested in building up their belief that they can do anything and be heroes and everything else. I think it did that for the most part, but then it quickly died away. And then when they changed her, made her a bit darker, a bit more heelish, yeah, it didn't really work. The teaming with Dewdrop was quite fun. I did quite enjoy that. But great to see Nikki Cross back, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes and what she does. She was up against the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair, absolutely fantastic at the moment. She's doing some good stuff. This match was good. Really enjoyed this match. Had a great bit of back and forth in it, which I really liked. I always worried that when they're putting people up against Bianca, that they're not going to look as strong. They're not going to look as fast, as dominant. And Nikki got some good shots in on this match. So I was really happy with this. All really worked for me. Bianca Belair picked up the win. I think that was kind of inevitable. Sometimes it can hurt a character when they're coming back and they have their first match and they lose. I don't think that was so much the case for Nikki Cross. I think she's well established enough already. And the way it was done with the loss, and then Damage Control coming out and beating down Bianca as well, I don't think this really did Nikki Cross any damage on this one. We were going to get the inevitable interference from Damage Control. We knew that was going to happen. It's the build-up ready for a crown jewel this weekend with Bianca versus Bayley. So that was inevitable that was going to happen. And then we get Alexa and Asuka coming down as well. Good to see them back. Good to see them back on there as well. They get a little bit of a backstage promo later on as well, and they challenge Dakota Kai and Io Sky to a tag team title match, which was the main event of the evening. So we'll get onto that one a little bit later on. So let's move on then to what happened next. It was Seth Rollins and I do apologise. No, it wasn't. It was Bobby Lashley sat backstage, ready to do an interview alongside Brock Lesnar. Bobby Lashley appears on the screen. Brock Lesnar isn't in his seat, and people are wondering what's going on there. And all of a sudden, doom, the music hits, and we get Brock Lesnar, and the crowd is happy. Yes, good. Really like all of that. Great way to keep the crowd going as well. Lesnar comes out. He's not going to sit backstage. He doesn't want to talk. He wants to fight. And Bobby Lashley is quite happy to oblige him with that. They come out. They have a good old brawl around the place. Really liked all of that. All good stuff on there. Looks really solid. And it builds up. It's building up that excitement towards Saturday's Crown Jewel Premium Live event. So yeah, all really good on there. You can tell when a brawl is getting out of control and all out of hand when the main guy has to come out to try and break it up. And we get an appearance from the King of Kings, the Cerebral Assassin, the Game, Triple H. And he comes out and he gets it all under control. And he tells them straight, if they're going to put their hands on each other, he's going to call off their match at Crown Jewel. Brilliant. Yeah, really like all that. Great little pop for the crowd there as well to see Triple H come out as well. So yeah, all really good. great start to this show so far. Yeah, so I'm liking all of this as well. This is good. This is a good way of building everything up towards Crown Jewel. It's just giving you that little bit more taste, that little bit more excitement leading up to the premium live event. So yeah, really happy with that. So then next up, we did get the United States champion Seth freaking Rollins against Austin Theory. That was an interesting little decision there to put these two against each other, and I really liked this. Really good on there. Has Seth turned babyface on us? That is the question. He's getting a good reaction from the crowd. He always gets a good reaction from the crowd anyway. The crowd were singing his music right into the first sort of 2-3 minutes of the match as well. So they're really liking all the oh, and why wouldn't you? It's like an earworm. Once it gets in your head, that's it. You just keep doing it. So yeah, absolutely love it. So he was high-fiving fans as well on the way down to the ring as well. So yeah, there was definitely that little babyface side of it. If they have decided that Seth Rollins is going to be a face, I really hope that they don't turn him too much into a babyface. Like, keep his character the way that he is. I like the way that Seth Rollins is at the moment. He's got the laughter. He's got that sort of slightly unhinged side to him, the crazy outfits, all of that. Keep all of that the way that it is. That will work. Make it almost like they did with Steve Austin. Steve Austin was a face. The crowd all loved him. They cheered for him, whatever. But his character didn't change. He was still a badass. He still gave people the finger. He still stunned whoever the hell he wanted to stun and everything else. So just do that same sort of thing with Seth Rollins. Just keep him nicely in that sort of almost that middle gap where you can blur nicely between the two. I wouldn't complain about that. The fans will cheer him anyway. The fans will cheer him regardless of what he does. So yeah, all good on there. So so Rollins and Theory in this match. Again, another good match, really good. Nice little bit of back and forth in this one as well. I like the fact that Austin Theory was allowed to get some offense in, did some really good stuff on there as well. The rolling blockbuster that he does, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I really like Austin Theory, and he's been kind of pushed to the side for the last couple of weeks. We haven't really seen him about. We did see that little appearance on NXT with the briefcase. So that's sort of casts sort of questions as to whether he may cash in on the NXT champion. We will see. There's a lot of rumours, a lot of speculation going around that maybe Austin Theory is going to hold on to the Money in the Bank contract right up until the last minute that he can cash it in. I'd be interested to see that. It would be interesting to see him carry it right the way through. But I would like to see some opportunities where he's going to come down and potentially cash it in, like they were doing at the start. I really liked all of that. When he did it at Clash of the Castle and all the other events where he did it, he came down and something stopped him from cashing it in. I like that, and it's really good heel work as well. So let him carry on doing that. So. Yeah, really good on this one. Crowd really likes the match as well. Yeah, got some good spots in there. Solid all the way around. Rollins ends up picking up the win with the curb stomp. Really like that move anyway. So and Rollins does it really well. Excellent, really good. So yeah, so far this Raw, banging, great start. Really liking this. Then we get Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman coming out to talk about the upcoming match between Roman Reigns and Logan Paul for the undisputed Universal Championship. So he comes out, starts all this stuff on there, and then we get the A-lister, The Miz. He comes out and he talks about how he brought Logan Paul in. Nobody can know him better than Miz does. And he offers to help Roman Reigns with defeating Logan Paul. Does Roman Reigns need help defeating Logan Paul? Probably not. It ends up with Roman Reigns knocking the Miz out. Yeah, okay. I expect there's probably a lot of people out there that would like to do that to the Miz. I'm not one of them. I love the Miz. I think the Miz is great. I think this is kind of a really big attempt by WWE to try and garner more interest and more excitement in the upcoming match. I think this is a difficult one because I think a lot of fans are already thinking it is a foregone conclusion. Roman Reigns isn't going to lose the title, so it doesn't have that same level of interest as it probably should. The interesting thing is though is that what if he doesn't win, or what if Logan Paul actually does pull out the surprise win? Where do we go from there? So. But yeah, I think they're trying to build up the interest in this match. The Miz is usually great at getting people motivated, getting people interested in what's going on. I think the Miz would have had a bit of a hard time with this one because I just don't think that same oomph, that same kind of desire, that same interest in the match is there that would normally be there for these, and because it's Crown Jewel as well, because it's the Saudi Arabian one as well, which obviously turns a lot of people off of watching it. So yeah, they did what they could with that one. It was an okay segment. I think it was going to be a difficult one for them to do. One other thing on here, as much as I do love the Miz, can we stop with all the massive balls jokes? It's been and done. It was funny. It's kind of pittering away now. Yeah. So yeah, well, can we skip on and move on to something else with that one? So yeah, it was an okay segment on that one. We then get the match between Damian Priest of Judgment Day and Karl Anderson of the OC going 1-on-1. Now, I said in last week's Raw reaction that I think Karl Anderson is underrated, and I'm going to stick by that because Karl Anderson is really, really good, and he's one of those wrestlers that can mix it up as well. He's very difficult to put into a category as to what he is. He's not really a brawler, and he's not really a technical, and he's not a high flyer, yet he can seem to do all of that and does it all really, really well. Got a great burst of speed on him as well, which is all really, really good. Obviously, they did not all come down alone. We had the rest of the OC come down, and of course we had the rest of Judgment Day come down as well. So yeah, this one went well. I thought this one worked together. These two guys seem to work together really, really well. Be interested to see how it all gels together on the Premium Live event. I think it's going to be a really, really good match. The OC and Judgment Day is one of the ones I'm actually really looking forward to. So yeah, really liking that. This one ended up with Karl Anderson managing to pick up the win, and after that, the Judgment Day attacked the OC. Oh, what a surprise! And because obviously they had the numbers game on there as well because they had Rhea Ripley as well. So yeah, that wasn't too surprising. Again, it's more build up towards the Premium Live event. This is the Raw before Crown Jewel, so this is what it's going to be all about. And don't be surprised if SmackDown does exactly the same thing. But that's how it should go. I really, really can't complain about that. I really, really like that. So up next, we had JBL and Baron Corbin coming out to do a promo segment. I like these two together. I think this really, really works for me. Yeah, really, really good. And it's good to see Baron Corbin going off in another direction. I think the Happy Corbin stuff was done, and let's see what this does. But yeah, really, really like it. Disgusting outfit, by the way, Baron Corbin's. Yeah, but so they come out and they get interrupted by R-Truth. Okay, so R-Truth comes out and he starts making fun of them and says about how they've dressed up for Halloween. JBL says they're not dressed up for Halloween, and R-Truth says, "Of course you are. You're dressed up as a miserable, old, nasty, angry old man." And then he's about to say about Baron Corbin, and he goes to attack him, and it all ends up with R-Truth getting the end of days from Baron Corbin. Yeah, this was okay. I think this is going to inevitably set up for probably a match between Truth and Corbin, which okay, that'd be interesting. Be an interesting one to see. That'd probably be for next week's Raw. I would not be surprised. I don't know. The promo itself felt a bit out of date. Didn't feel like it was something for 2022. It felt like something that you would have had back sort of in the early era, sort of the 80s and 90s. So yeah, it was okay. Didn't really do it for me, but yeah, it was all right. It was all right. It's Truth doing what he can. Truth just is just it gets the crowd going, which is what he's very very good at. So I'm not a massive R-Truth fan, but he is good at working with the crowd. I can say that. So and he does seem to to be very very popular with the other wrestlers, and they all seem to like him and they all seem to enjoy doing stuff with him. So then up next after that we had Matt Riddle versus Otis in the Halloween Trick or Treat Street Fight. Yeah, it's Halloween, so we always have to have something like this for the Halloween Raw or SmackDown or Premium Live event, depending on when it falls. So we had this one on Raw this week. I gotta be honest, I kind of liked this. So let's start off with Matt Riddle comes down to the ring with Elias dressed as Ezekiel. I really liked that. I thought it was humorous. I think it gave Elias a laugh as well. It was different. It was fun. I did enjoy it. And then we had Alpha Academy come out as Chippendales. This is a takeoff from the Saturday Night Live sketch with Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze. And this did make me laugh. It was really really good. Otis is always up for a laugh, and I think Chad Gable is as well. And they played this really really well. It was funny. If you haven't seen it yet, do go and watch this. This was really humorous, and I thoroughly enjoyed this one. It wasn't a particularly long or great match. It did what it needed to do. It had all its traditional sort of Halloween stuff in there as well. And it ended with Elias putting a pumpkin on Otis's head and Otis taking quite a ugly looking RKO, to be honest. I think because he had the pumpkin on his head, he couldn't see what was going on, so subsequently he started going down a little bit early, and it made the finishing RKO look a little bit messy. But I still enjoyed it. This was alright. This was a fairly good match. I like the chemistry that Alpha Academy and Riddle and Elias have together. They seem to be able to work something really really well. There's always some good stuff in here. Otis and Gable are supposed to be the heels, and yet they're still quite happy to do all the fun stuff, the humorous spots and everything else on there. And I really really like that. So yeah, can't complain about that. Otis did the worm at one point as well, which was kind of a throwback to his previous days. So yeah, kind of liked that as well. There were some really really good spots in there, but like I said, the ending was a little bit ugly. Yeah. So, but yeah, all good fun, and say your traditional Halloween hijinks on here. So all good on there. I kind of wish that because we'd seen Riddle and Alpha Academy dressed up for Halloween, I would have liked it if maybe we'd seen some more of that for Halloween. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more with them dressing up. I think they could have done some really really good stuff in there. But yeah, we didn't get that, unfortunately. But yeah, if you're gonna sort of celebrate the Halloween stuff, do it with more of them throughout the show. I would have liked to have seen maybe Truth dressed up for Halloween, maybe seen the women dressed up for Halloween as well. I'm sure they could have done that as well. Could have had the faces dress up and the heels not dress up because they're the heels and everything else on there. But yeah, just my personal opinion. But yeah, I like the Halloween stuff when they do it. But if they're gonna do it do it to the extreme kind of thing, like make the most of it. So. Up next, we had The Miz versus Mustafa Ali. The Miz was trying to get out of this match, saying that he had an injured jaw from when he'd been knocked out by Roman Reigns, but the ref wasn't having any of that. The bell went, the match got started on there. Really, really good on here. Want to say, first of all, I really like Mustafa Ali's new look. Loving what they've done with the ring gear, with the hair, everything else on there. Really, really good. I'm really impressed with this. It's a great way to sort of soup up his character, and it feels like it has direction. It feels like it could go somewhere as well. So yeah, really, really good to see that on there. I'm a big fan of Ali. I really, really do like Ali. I really liked the early stuff he did with Retribution. I'm probably one of the very few people that did. But yeah, I really, really liked all this. So we got some this all kicking off. This was all really, really good. And then we get the interference in there with Dexter Lumis. Yeah, all really good on there. Ali ends up picking up the win on there. Hitting his 450 splash. Beautiful as well. Do love his 450. Really, really like all of that. Yeah, this was an okay match. It was it did everything that it needed to do on there. The Miz is always reliable, always competent in there. Like the way that Miz sells as well. Miz sells really, really well. So yeah, really, really good on there. And I always also like the Miz as well because he's willing to take all the bumps and all the extra moves to make his opponent look good, and he certainly did that in this as well. Yeah, and then Mustafa Ali getting some great selling on there as well. There was one point on there. There was a what was it? It was a DDT. They did a DDT on there, and he sold it brilliantly. Sold it almost like he'd been sort of killed in it. It was really, really good the way that he sold it. So yeah, really, really happy with that. So that was all good on there. Then we get this unusual little pre-taped segment with Johnny Gargano, stating that the Miz has actually hired Dexter Lumis to play some kind of stalker. I don't know where this is going with this. This felt a bit like this was going to be a sudden swerve, a sudden change in direction. So Johnny Gargano is suggesting that the Miz was paying Dexter Lumis to stalk him because celebrities and A-listers and that, they have their stalkers, they have their problem people. And then Miz stopped paying him, so then Dexter Lumis started taking it up seriously. Yeah, okay. If this leads to something really good, if this leads to a really interesting sort of story or leads to a really good match, then yeah, I'll be happy with that. For what it was at the moment, it's like, yeah, okay, this just seems like you just want to do a sudden change of direction. And I really want to see Dexter Lumis in the ring. Please can we have Dexter Lumis having some matches? I really, really like Dexter Lumis. And I want to see him have matches. So yeah, can we sort that out, Triple H, please? Because I'm a big fan of Dexter Lumis. I want to see what he can do. Yeah, so good stuff. Yeah, okay stuff on here. Let's see where this goes. But yeah, I really want to see Dexter Lumis in the ring. So we finally come up to the main event of the evening. It was Asuka and Alexa Bliss taking on Damage Control's Dakota Kai and Io Sky for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. So we'd had all the interference earlier in the night. So this ends up becoming the main event of the night. We get Asuka and Alexa Bliss come down with Bianca Belair, and of course Damage Control. Bayley's going to be there. That's inevitable. So yeah. This all starts off well. Your usual tag team formula stuff to start off with, all really, really good on there. Starts to become more and more aggressive as the match goes on. Then we start getting all the fighting and the interference around the ring with Bayley and Bianca Belair. This ends up with them getting up onto a table and crashing through two tables at the side of the ring. That got the crowd popping. It was a really, really good spot as well. It was Bayley's belly to belly through the tables. They both come crashing down. Again, more hype, more build-up, more excitement coming ready for the premium live event at the weekend. So yeah, did everything that it needed to do on here. And then we kind of got a bit of a surprise on here. This ended up with Alexa Bliss hitting her Twisted Bliss off the top. And 1, 2, 3, we have new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Asuka and Alexa Bliss. As you see, I put the t-shirt on. Mostly put this on for Halloween, but really glad I picked this one today. Yeah, really, really good on there. Yes, we have new Women's Tag Team Champions. I'm kind of 50-50 about this one, if I'm honest. I really like Alexa Bliss and Asuka. I really do. But I also really like Damage Control. I like Dakota Kai and Io Sky, and I love Bayley. So I'm kind of interested in where this one's going to go. What this is going to bring out. But yeah, we got there. So good match all throughout. Really nice to see Asuka and Alexa Bliss as a team. I think they work really well. And I really like Dakota Kai and Io Sky as a team as well. There's something in me though, and for some reason I don't know why, but there's something in me that if I personally had control over WWE, I would change those teams around, and I would have Alexa Bliss and Dakota Kai as a team, and I would have Asuka and Io Sky as a team. I don't know. So something about Alexa Bliss and Dakota Kai. They're almost very similar, and I think they would work really well as a team. Asuka and Io Sky, they have previous tag team experience, so I would that is what I would do. But at the moment, I like these four women. This is good what they've done. It was a surprise. I really wasn't expecting the tag titles to change. So this was a good surprise on here. And I'm interested to see where this goes next. Are we going to see a rematch? Are we going to see somebody else coming up? Are we going to see some other contenders come up? Maybe this is a way of them taking the belts off of the heels and put them onto a face, because maybe they want to transition them to somebody else. I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens on here. But what a way to finish off Halloween with new women's tag team champions. And that was Raw. That was Raw for this week. All in all, it was a good episode. Did everything they needed to do. Built up all the hype for Crown Jewel, which is hard to do because there are fans that just aren't going to watch it. We will watch it. The chairman and the wrestling guy will be watching it. We are going to post up our preview video and our match predictions very shortly for you as well. So yeah, but it is one that we are going to watch. But it has built up my interest for it that little bit more. Yeah, I'm that little bit more excited for it now. So it's going to be some good stuff on there. But hey, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of this week's Raw? What do you think of the of Crown Jewel? Do you think that Raw did everything that it needed to do to spark up your interest that little bit more? Do let us know in the comments below. As always. But anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. As always, you guys are awesome. We can't do this without you. As I said before, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Meeting's over. Chairman out. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.